Hey Sunflowers and Squares, welcome back to BPD Squared, where we discuss mental health from a Black girl's perspective. My name is Brenda, and today we're just going to talk. I may ramble a bit in this video because honestly, I don't really know where I really want to go with this video, but I at least wanted to kind of just sit down and talk with you guys about some things that I kind of just discovered about myself, as well as I treated myself yesterday and got some makeup. So I also wanted to try out the makeup that I just got as well. So it's kind of not really a get ready with me, but more of a we're just gonna sit and chat while I put stuff on my face. I also got my tea ready to go. So made chamomile. So again, today is pretty much just a talk. This is in no means a makeup tutorial, by the way. I do want to present the products that I got because I was pretty impressed with them and just let you know what it is that I was doing or whatever. But, this is not a makeup tutorial. This is just me putting stuff on my face and just talking to you guys about some things that, hello, some things that have been, kind of concerning me, as well as just some things that have been brought to my attention. Of course, whenever I want to sit down and do something productive, that's when the kids want to be outside. So again, there are kids playing outside. So if you hear a lot of loud banging noises or even dogs barking in the background, just roll with it, y'all. We in the hood, okay? To start, I got a tinted cover foundation. It is in the color Nude 8, and it is from the Sephora line. First of all, let me just show you what it comes in. It comes in this nice little black tin, and this is what the tinted foundation looks like. So it is, if you can see that, yeah, it is in the color Nude 8. And I'm squinting because I'm blind. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see either. But anyway, we gonna try this out, yo. When Tito helped me early, like when Tito helped me yesterday, he was basically, trying to show me different kind of tints because like I said, I got my foundation. My foundation was good. I got my concealer, got a good palette for the eyes. Let me just find out what I can get for a nice lip that's gonna be natural looking. Because my thing is, I'm a person that likes dark lip colors. And so pretty much everybody was pushing me to try to get like a berry kind of nudies colors, whatever. And I don't have a problem with that, but it's just, I don't have a problem stepping outside of my comfort zone. Some of the colors that he chose, they just kind of weirded me out a bit because I was like, I really didn't know how to feel about them, to tell you the honest truth. I don't know how beauty gurus do this. This is not easy to do. I can't focus on two things at once. This is some bull. Long story short, what I'm trying to get to is that, I got all this stuff because I was like, yeah, I definitely wanted it. Mainly because, I hadn't bought makeup for myself in like a long time, like years. And so I was like, yeah, I definitely wanted to get something so that, I had some kind of makeup to use for when I did want to actually go out and do stuff and look like a decent human being and a member of society. This has lavender oil in it and it smells so good. I really like that. Anyway, I'm being blown up. I took a day to self-invest, basically. In my self-investment, I went and got things that were very necessary. I got things that were a necessity, not only to myself, but to my brand. And I was just really proud of myself because I was like, I did something that I know I needed to do. And I was still investing into the things that actually really, mattered. Now that I got my foundation on, let me say what I was trying to say. Basically, I went into Sephora with this mindset of, okay, I need to get a basic face makeup because I wanted something that was going to, just be an everyday look, something I can throw on real quick, not worry about it, do it for a video, do it to just go out with hubby or whatever, go out with friends, and something that was just simple, plain, beautiful, and easy to do. So like I mentioned before, I mentioned Tito, and I really love Tito. He helped me so much. He was recommending colors. Basically, he was recommending colors for me based on lip tints, because I was like, I need a really good lip. I want something that is natural but actually makes a statement. Like, I want natural with color, if that makes sense. I wanted something that I could put on every day, but I also wanted something that had kind of a statement to it. So he recommended all these different colors. Now, the first one I tried on, I loved, and I bought that one. So you'll see that at the end. We tried on a couple other colors, and there was this one color in particular that he really pushed on me. Well, he didn't push it on me, but he really thought that it was gonna be a really good statement. And I may go back later and get it. But the color is Freckle. So I'm moving on to my concealer. This is also a Sephora brand concealer. It is called Bright Future. So I'm gonna go in with this concealer in the parts that I believe it's supposed to go into. Y'all bear with me, okay? I'm learning how to be a girl. It's not fun. So back to the point, Tito again was trying to push me to really change my mind about Freckle, because he was just determined that actually going to be the color, if that makes sense. So I was very skeptical about it, and I was honestly afraid of it. The color really scared me, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, because I was like, it just seemed like it was kind of too bright. It seemed like it was too, I don't know. It was just a lot about it really did scare me. And I think the other part that really scared me is he was like, this color reflects your personality. And I was like, man. Now, y'all know, I got BPD. What personality is he talking about? What he said was, you have this bubbly person. Oh God, I don't know why I'm doing this in an inverted camera. What am I trying to prove? What am I trying to prove? He really thought I should go with it because it reflected my personality. And I was, like I said, I was a little taken aback by that. But he was like, no, because you have a bubbly personality. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it kind of got me, because I was like, I haven't heard that in so long. Now, I'm gonna tell you the truth. All my life, I've been told, oh yeah, Brenda, you have a really bubbly personality. You're so light and happy and da da da. Bull. And like I said, it just kind of, I think it snapped me a bit, because like I said, when you haven't heard something like that in a while, it just makes you kind of wonder, is this a thing? Oh God, no, that's not a thing. Girl, the fails. Girl, the fails. Save me. One thing I can say though, it really smells good. But I think, again, what really kind of got to me, I hadn't heard anybody call me bubbly in a long time. And I think it's because I had gotten myself to this place of feeling like I don't remember what it was like to be happy anymore. And that's not a good thing. That really was sad to me, because I'm like, well, it's just sad in general. Because I'm like, how long has it been since I have projected this persona that people actually say, oh yeah, this reflects your personality? So yeah, it really did kind of take me for a loop. And again, if you follow me on Instagram, how many am I at right now? I'm gonna keep saying that till I get like 400, 500 followers. I think I'm at like 280 something right now, and I'm so grateful for every single person that I have. So thank you, first of all, for all the followers that I have, and even the ones that I don't have yet. Thank you. It kind of just threw me for a loop, because I hadn't taken in consideration my happiness like that in a very long time. To hear that kind of just reminded me that this is how people perceive you. Like, you actually have good qualities. You actually have parts of you that are wanting to shine out and, show that there's more to you than just confusion and sadness. So hubby and I went to the food court, got some lunch. While I was sitting there eating, I just kept looking at myself in my camera because I was like, I just really don't know how to feel about this. And it was like, I think it's because you've gotten so used to not paying attention to your own needs. You finally are taking care of yourself, something I've been trying to tell you to do for the longest time. And he has. He's been trying to push me to be more selfish. Like, he wanted me to get back into doing certain things that I love doing. I don't really love makeup, but I like putting it on for the most part. So he was like, he wants me to invest that time into myself, basically. So of course he says this to me and I'm like, wow. So this is what it means to be happy. And this is what it means to actually care for yourself. So yeah, it really hit me. Man, how long has it been since I really just sat myself down and said, Brenda, this is what you need to be happy. It's still a foreign concept. I'm not gonna lie. It's still foreign to me. And even though, like I said, I have this bubbly personality, I can, make people laugh well, at least I think I can. I have a light-hearted demeanor about me because I know what it's like for people to be kind of ignored and dismissed and feel like nobody's listening to them. So I try to be that person that kind of breaks that ice for everybody in a way. But, it's also okay to step back and just be like, recognize your problems, but also recognize your happiness. There's nothing wrong with being sad, but there's definitely nothing wrong with being happy either. And I have based so much around all the confusion and problems and trying to get answers for all these things I've been going through. And so it was just one of those, okay, you're trying so hard to figure out what's wrong that you didn't take time to actually figure out what was right. You forgot what was right. So that's pretty much the lesson I got out of that. So we did foundation and we did concealer. So now I'm gonna move on to this eyeshadow palette that I am excited about. I'm not gonna lie, it has such beautiful colors in it. So it is the I Love Eye palette. Pretty much everything I'm using today is Sephora's personal brand. This palette is medium warm eyeshadow palette. Please show this justice. So this is the palette. This color right here is the color that I'm gonna use as a base. The darker color I'm gonna use as a smoky thing. You guys, it's very important to invest in yourself, invest in your happiness. It may not seem all that grand and all that great in the beginning. You know what? I said I was gonna use this. I'm not. Self-care is very important. And this is not to say that anybody else thinks this, but this is my personal take on it. Self-care is more than just bubble baths, wine, and spa dates. And like I said, I'm not saying that that's what is being portrayed. I know that that's what a lot of people kind of gravitate towards because it is a way to get yourself in a more relaxed state, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm not saying this in a way to make it seem like I'm bashing anybody at all. I'm definitely not. And however you take care of you is good for you. Like, that's your personal that's your thing. That's how I'm gonna put that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the pinky one first and put that all over the lid. My idea of self-care was finding ways to just be selfish, basically. That was my idea of self-care. Be selfish. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. You can be selfish and in your self-care, because that's really what it means. I guess what I'm trying to say is I never took into consideration what self-care was for me. And last night I was like, dang, I think I unlocked the code to what self-care really is. And I had to realize, excuse me, self-care is basically anything that brings you joy. And I know that that seems like that should be a basic understanding. I know that that's pretty much a basic understanding, but it wasn't basic for me. Yesterday, I was so inexplicably happy that it really confused me. How do you explain being so happy that you don't even recognize yourself? And how do you explain the fact that you don't ever remember being happy? I think that's what really got me too. It's like I've lived so long just not being happy, and when I finally did something that made me happy, it scared me. So I'm gonna go in next with the darker color now on the outsides, so I can give it kind of that smoky look. Take care of yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in the things that are gonna make you happy. So I know for me, what makes me happy is to be able to sit here and make these videos and talk to you guys, even if it's about nothing, like right now. So, I just like the fact that I can say I did something that is pushing towards a bigger goal, something bigger than myself, but also something I'm greatly passionate about, something I'm wanting to build and I love. And, doing this is a part of that. Because sure, I'm building a brand. I'm trying to build a business here where in my mind, BPDsquared is going to be a platform for people to come to and be heard about their mental health issues, whatever the diagnosis, or even if there is no diagnosis. Your struggles are going to be valid and your struggles are heard. And that's what I want BPDsquared to represent, is the struggles of everyday people. Gonna move on to this color here in the middle. It's a nice shimmery, peachy kind of color. So while I do that, let's see if I can concentrate and talk at the same time again. Oh, it's not working. Anyway, with all that being said, another thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is something I wanted to talk about for a while, and that is validation. For a good minute, the thing that I've noticed within the community, especially with those of us who have BPD, is validating our feelings, validating our realities. We are struggling. I struggle. I see my friends are struggling. And our main thing, especially with people who have mental health issues, is finding validation in how we feel. And I've noticed that all across the board. It doesn't matter what diagnosis you have. I've noticed all across the board, it's very hard to feel allowed to feel the way you feel. My thing was, it's a big struggle. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It is a struggle to feel like you have a voice out there. It's a struggle to feel like anything you feel and anything you say is actually worth being heard. And I see a lot of posts, and I really like these posts where it says it could be worse, but guess what? It's worse for me. This is what worse is for me. We hear all the time, oh, it could be worse. And you're right, it could be. I could be dead, but I'm not. So I really don't like it when people say, oh, it could be worse. Nothing is more invalidating than to tell people that what they're feeling is not enough. So when you tell people, oh, it could be worse, oh, it's not as bad as you think it is, that's invalidating. It's very invalidating. It makes people feel like I'm not allowed to be angry. I'm not allowed to be sad. I'm not allowed to have feelings about this because it's not as bad as it could have been in somebody else's situation. Do not try to remind them how it could be worse, because all that does is just makes them feel like everything that's going on in their head doesn't matter. They don't matter. And we already struggle with feeling like, do we matter at all? I was trying to be validated on social media, and I didn't realize I had dropped into this trap until I started to feel myself being restricted from what I truly wanted to say and do. You see these popular Instagram profiles where they're like, oh, you should have this kind of layout and it should all look like this and have these different colors and change it to look like this and have a format and follow a thing and da 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 da. And for the most part, sure, I like that idea, because it shows uniformity, continuity. It shows what you're like kind of about. For me, it was an for me, because there was a lot that I saw and a lot that I felt that I wanted to share, and I was like, oh wait, I can't share it on here because it would throw off my aesthetic, or let me put this off and put it on my personal profile. It was too much. I'm not being fair to myself. I'm not allowing myself to really just do my thing. I'm putting all this effort into building this brand, and I'm not even allowing myself to be authentic. You know what I mean? If I want to see something on there, I'm just going to put something on there. Point blank, period. That's just it. That's what it's supposed to be, right? All these social media platforms are supposed to be an expression of self. They're supposed to be an expression of your personality, you personally. If I don't feel like I'm able to really be my authentic self, am I really doing something right though? Am I really giving you something you can fit? I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. Crap myself up. Okay, so we're gonna go in with the final color in the eye. It's gonna be this lighter shimmery color. That mug is way too big for that. On social media, guys, I know it's very easy to fall into that ideal of I have to look a certain way when I'm online. And to a certain extent, yes, you do. You don't want to put out anything that you feel later on is going to incriminate you. You have every right to put whatever you want on your page, okay? You can put whatever you want. If you want to be butt naked on the back of a carousel horse, you do what you want to do. That's your Instagram profile. And if anybody don't like it, they don't have to follow you and they don't have to click like. But guess what? If you want me to find it and I think it's something that's cool, I'll like it. Sure, whatever. I'm down for carousel horses. Be authentic to you. Don't restrict yourself to follow somebody else's means of success. Now, that's not to say that there's anything wrong with taking tips and tricks from people, because I've learned a lot of tips and tricks from people. But at the end of the day, the stuff I learned is still going to be my way of doing it. Some people are pretty animated. They have all the gifts. They have all the fonts and the jump cuts and all the other stuff going on. Eventually I'll get there. I also follow people that literally just stand and stare at the camera like this. And they talk about stuff and it makes perfect sense and they still have a lot of views. Just be you. Point blank, period. Just be you. Speaking of that, you, as in me, needs to finish his face. That is the look for the eyes. Now I'm going to go into, oh geez, gonna use my e.l.f. eyeliner and try to do a very light wing. It's a very subtle wing. Moving into mascara. And this is the Mega Length Waterproof Mascara by Wet n Wild. What you think? Now I'm gonna move on to brows. So I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't do a lot to my brows because apparently, and like I said, I do it lightly because I don't want a harsh, heavy eyebrow. I still want it to look like, you know, I didn't do anything really. That'll do, pig. That'll do. And last but certainly not least, we're finishing up, of course, with the lipstick. This is Vino. Vino is this kind of darker berry, kind of wine-like color. So before I put that on, I'm going to prep my lips a bit with some shea butter. The lipstick itself is a matte stick. I don't mind it being matte. I just wanted kind of something on my lips to kind of prep it a little bit better. I was going to use primer, but I wanted a little bit more of a gloss to it. So here it goes. Here you go. All right, and that's the lip. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching the video. I hope that you got something out of this video because I don't know how they do it, but y'all got to give these beauty gurus a lot of credit. I don't know how they are able to put on makeup and hold a train of thought at the same time. Like, they remembering codes to safes, they remember people's social security numbers, they remember what they ate yesterday for breakfast, and I'm just like, so. But definitely follow me on Instagram. As you can hear, that's the people follow me on Instagram, by the way. You could be one of those people. Just saying. If you do want to kind of get more of an in-depth idea of what it is that I deal with as far as mental health is concerned, definitely check out the blog, Become a Sunflower. And also, don't be afraid to share your story on there as well. I want to build this platform so that not only are you getting, a perspective of me as a Black woman dealing with mental illness, I want others to be able to come on there and share their stories as well. So I do have a forum that I want to get conversations started. So I encourage people to become a sunflower, join the blog, share their stories. And I want to build this so that we can continue this talk about mental health and end this stigma. The more people that are out there sharing their stories and the more people that we can get spreading the conversation, the better it's going to be for all of us in the long run, because the more we talk about it, the more it becomes known. The more it becomes known, the more people are learning how to effectively handle it and in the outside world. Take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, make sure you are being your authentic self. Love you for you as much as you can. It's not easy all the time, I know. I'm still learning to love myself again. Actually take time to care about yourself. So whatever that means for you, make that an everyday thing. Be you. So y'all already know. Stay square, my sunflowers, and I love you so much. Mwah.